Hey everyone, so I want to talk to you. Yes, I'm driving. I know y'all hate it when I drive, but I promise my eyes are on the road. So I want to talk to you about a conversation that just sparked some thoughts that I was having, and I want to share them with you. So I was having a conversation with a friend about all these things that I've recently kind of stepped out that are gonna definitely require some faith. And we got to talking about relationship, and I have had so much insecurity in that area. I have really had to fight this like wound of betrayal that has shaped how I pursue relationship. You know, and we were talking about trusting God, and I said, honestly, and we were talking about rejection, and we were talking about how, you know, like relationship, at the end of the day, it's going to end up one of three ways. Either you're going to end up together, or you're going to get discarded, or they're going to get discarded. And it can be that way if that's how you view it. You know, if you feel that it's a product of you not being chosen, or you being rejected, if that's how you view it, you will be rejected. But then I said, you know, okay, if we really, really, really trust the Father, like if we really trust the Father, we know that He is for us. If we know that He has exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think, if that is His great desire for us, how in the world can we actually be rejected? Can we actually be rejected? If it doesn't work out, you know, relationship-wise with you and whoever, then it's actually fine. It's actually fine. And, you know, I got to thinking about, I was reading this morning Psalm 103. And Psalm 103 is just, it's a verse that I've really planted my life on. And it's the famous verse, you may know it, where it says, you know, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits. And then it goes on to say, who forgives all of my iniquities, who heals all of my diseases, who redeems my life from destruction, who, you know, fills my mouth with good things, and He crowns my head with loving kindness and tender mercies, and He renews my youth like the eagles. This, you know, this set of verses is like everything you need. Whatever you need from God, that it's in there. But right up under that, you know, 2 verses later, literally, it talks about how Israel understood and they saw the acts of God, but Moses understood the ways. He was acquainted with the ways of the Father. You know, and then in Hebrews, it talks about how the Israelites, you know, in the desert, they could not enter into the rest of God. This is not a vacation, y'all. Rest is a place you live from because you trust the Father. It's a place of peace that you have over your life because you trust the Father, because you believe that His great desire for you is good. And it's actually so much more than good. It really is that Ephesians 3:20. And it's interesting because Ephesians 3:20, exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think, it's born out of understanding His great love for you. Because right before that is where Paul says, I wish that you would comprehend, that you could get and wrap your mind around what is the length, the depth, the width, the height, to know the love of Christ. And then it says that it passes all understanding. You know, you have to grasp it with you know, you got to grasp it with your heart, to be honest, and just choose to believe it. You know, and so from that place, if that's, and then listen, right up after it talks about how the Israelites could not enter his rest, that's where it talks about having an evil heart, y'all, of what? Of unbelief. God desires above all else to be believed. But he wants to be believed correctly. And this world has shaped our belief system of God, and a lot of times it's not correct. And that's what really had to change in my life, so that I could see, so I could experience what it looks like to have a rest, to live from a place of rest. And yeah, so I know I'm rambling, but this is just it's just my heart at the moment, stuff I've been chewing on and thinking about this morning, and I'm gonna leave it for you to chew on. And I encourage you to talk to God and go look up the verses that I've actually mentioned, and let the Lord speak to you. So remember, he is for you, and I love you, but he loves you so much more.